Okay, so the chocolate is melted and cooling. It's not very hot, but it is melted. It melts at a low temperature, so you don't need to do it a lot. And when you melt it, you want to go 1 minute. This is for a double batch. 1 minute, then 30 seconds, then about 10 seconds. Stir it, let it sit and melt what's not melted by itself. Then if it's still not melted, put it in for another maybe 15 seconds, 12, 15 seconds. And then do the same thing, let it melt. And so now it's all melted, now it's cooling, and that's what we needed to do. We're doubling this recipe, so let me get my glass on. We are, okay. I actually need my book to be like this. There we go, that's better. Try and keep it out of the way, but it doesn't work, as you can tell. It doesn't work. Okay, so we are going to mix sugar, oil, vanilla, and chocolate in a large bowl. Sugar, and we're doubling it, so I got to make sure and remember double, double, double. Double trouble. We're doing double. So instead of 2 cups, it will be 4. This is the 1 cup. Get my knife. And I like that I have these in a bigger container for the holidays. It's going to make it easier on me. And I get it. That's right. We'll get there. Give it a little tap. Settle the sugar down in that cup. There's 1. Oops. Spilled a little bit. There's 2. Didn't quite make it. Try it again. 3. Last one. And there's 4. I don't think that bag would fit in here yet. Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet. There we are. Fill with the sugar. I made a little bit of a sugar mix. Right up against the sink too. There we go. Alright, now sugar, oil. So we're going to do oil, and it's half a cup, so it's all a cup. So 1 cup of oil. Oil. We need every drop of that oil to be in there. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So 4 teaspoons of vanilla. 4. Let's see. That's a teaspoon right there. So we need 4 of these. This is the best of the cheapest. By the way, I'm going to start making my own. And I've learned over the years, if you're cooking, fine. If you're baking, it's got to be exact. Okay, that's weird. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have the sugar, the oil, the vanilla, and now the chocolate. It's cooled down plenty. Oil, vanilla, chocolate, and mix eggs in one at a time. That beautiful chocolate. Isn't that pretty? Too bad it doesn't taste as good as it looks. Oh, it will though. After we mix all this, it will. There we go. A little bit on my hand. It'll be fine. Get all the oil and the eggs. I mean the oil and the sugar and the vanilla. Get it all mixed together. And still got some sugar on the bottom. Yep. You won't want to see any white lumps or anything like that in here. You want it nice and incorporated with each other. And it's going to look something like this, where it's wet, but there's no white in there. So the chocolate is mixed in very nicely. Now, if you wanted to just make sweet chocolate, you could just cook this and put it on a sheet and be good. All right, so we're going to incorporate 1 egg at a time. We're going to do 8 eggs. Mix that one in. Okay, so I have all the eggs incorporated, and now it looks like this, nice and creamy. All right, a little bit of an egg on my book. So yes, I put all the eggs in and incorporated them in one at a time. So that's where I'm at. And now it says stir in flour, baking powder, and salt. So I'm going to do it in this container. So sugar check, oil check, vanilla check, chocolate check, eggs check. So we're going to do 4 cups of flour because we're doubling it. I have a dry cup that we can use. That one's oily. I don't want to stick an oily one in my flour. And we got egg on the knife, so there we go. Okay. So 4 cups of flour. And when you hit it like that on flour, you want to hit it a lot harder than you did the sugar. Just tap, tap. 1. 2. I just made a mess. 3. 4 cups of flour and 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I already have baking powder. Oh, maybe I don't. Let's see. Oh, I do. That is not that's salt. That is salt. This is salt. Oh, look at that baking powder. I got the lids mixed up. Okay, so this definitely is baking powder. Baking soda is that one. Okay, so we're gonna do baking powder. And we're gonna do 4 teaspoons. So teaspoon, this one hanging right here. And we're gonna do 4 of them. Two. Oh my gosh. 3. Didn't get too smooth. 3. And 4. Okay, so we're done with the baking powder. Let's put the right lid on it. And then the next one I believe is half a teaspoon salt. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon salt. Here we are. And now we are done with all of our ingredients except for the powdered sugar. And that comes later. That's the only spoon I used. Yep. So those are clean. Salt. We're done with all of these. All right. Get all those put away. Vanilla as well. And so now we are going to get a clean fork. And we're just going to run that through the flour, get it mixed in. Now comes the hard part. We're going to incorporate a little bit at a time so it's not too hard. I'm just going to double check to make sure we doubled everything. 4 cups, 1 cup, 4 tablespoons, 8 ounces, 8 large eggs, 4 cups of flour, 4 teaspoons bacon, and 1 teaspoon of salt is doubled. We're going to need 2 cups of powdered sugar. Probably not, but we'll see. All right, so we got to get this going. Get all this flour mixed in here. Once you get the flour all mixed in, then you're going to want to, you can transfer it to a smaller bowl if you need to. That is what I'm going to do so I can fit it in my fridge. And it has to be in there for at least 3 hours. It can be in there for overnight, but it has to be cooked within 3 days of making the dough. So you have 3 days to cook your cookies. But I usually wait the 3 hours and then go, but I'm usually making this at 9 o'clock in the morning too. So I'll probably wait until tomorrow morning before I start actually baking the cookies. And you gotta try this recipe, you guys. It may be a little bit, I don't know, if you guys have a food processor, it's gonna be easier, but these cookies are the best holiday cookies ever. In all time of all time. So, show me something better. I don't think so. Better than lemon bars. Better than, what do you call it? What do you call that stuff you keep in the freezer? Make a buttered rum, hot buttered rum. Better than hot buttered rums, I'm telling you. My mom used to make hot buttered rums during the holidays. I don't, because we don't drink. We don't drink enough to make those. I don't know. I'm taking medicine, so I can't drink. He can do whatever he wants. He can drink if he wants to. He's not on any medicine. He usually drinks once or twice a year. But I used to usually drink once or twice a year too, but I don't at all anymore. I might have 1 small glass of Bailey's one time this year. So enjoy a little bit of Bailey's over ice Christmas Eve or something like that maybe. I don't know. I don't want to mess my medicine regimen up. As you put the flour in, it does make it harder to mix. And mixing it with one of those other things, it's just not even. I'm mixing it with this little thing and I'm not making it anymore with this. I need something bigger and stronger. So, but you shouldn't use like these whisks because it's just too hard to get them clean afterwards to get all that dough off of there. So I am going to go with a bigger spatula. A bigger one. A bigger spatula. And I don't have all the flour in here yet. But, oh, you know what? That's why I'm having such a hard time. I'm like, what did I usually use to do this? And now I remember. Here we go. Because it's like a dough, almost like a bread dough. So you kind of got to treat it like a bread dough as well. But it's a lot wetter than a bread dough. So it's going to make a mess. But it's worth every bit of mess that I get myself into for these cookies. Yes, I can't wait. I haven't had them for so long. It's been a long time coming for these cookies. I gotta mail them out to my kids and, you know, this and that. So it's good that I'm starting now. And my barista down the street will get some. My sisters will all get some. And their husbands will all get some. And my kids will get some. And their spouses will get some. All the grandbabies and nieces and nephews and cousins and all those people, if they want them, they get some. So, now, I'm not going to be making as much as I used to because I was making, how many people was I making for at work? 25, 30 dozen. So I don't have to make those anymore because I don't work for that crappy ass company anymore. Thank God I got away from that. Fucking sketchy shit, man, I'm telling you. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I am making Christmas cookies. And I have almost the flour incorporated into the dough. It's very hard, but we did it. We're there. All right, so now start scraping it off your hand. It says you're going to look like a Loch Ness monster with your hand. And I just, unless you have one of those kitchen mate things, then this is how us poor folk do it, that we don't have any of those cool machines. We do it by hand. We do it the old school way. And we do it, and it's made with love. Love. Who wrote the book of love? Who wrote the book of love? I would like to know. And it'll melt on your hands, so it'll start melting and get shiny before you get it off your hands, I'm telling you. I'm almost there. And don't forget, see ya, that's a hair. Okay, don't forget to take off your jewelry. Yeah, take off your rings and your bracelets and your watch and all that, because you don't want this inside all that. I'm not sure that they're worth all that. No, I had my way down your mom once cooking these things, and oh man, it was the worst. I had to go take it in and get it clean and all that. And, oh man, yeah, it was bad. It's in my fingernails, but I'm gonna need a little bit of brush on my nails. Oh, cool fact. My dad and my grandfather were inventors. They couldn't help themselves. So, yeah, chocolate all over my arms. Yeah. Lord have mercy. All over my arms. I gotta wash my arms. But anyways, my dad and my grandfather were inventors. Well, my great grandfather on my father's side invented, he had a lot to do with the locomotive on a train. My grandfather was an engineer for a train. My father invented a machine that fabricates the brushes that doctors use to scrub their nails. So he invented the machine that fabricates those. So yeah, and we've all been in driving, so it came naturally to me. My grandfather was the engineer on a train, so he was the conductor, not the conductor, but the engineer, the one that drove in the caboose. And then my father drove for public transit and did a lot of reconstruction kind of things he was a mechanic on the buses as well, and he would invent little things to help the buses out. So it was it was a part of the engine, and I can't remember, but that could have been my grandfather. But on the back of some Bluebird buses, you could see the name Brightson there. And I'm like, oh, there's my name. But yeah, so my great-great-grandfather and my grandfather and my father, and I don't know about my great-grandfather. So, but they were, they were inventors. So, and drivers. So, a little tidbit of info. So, and I bird two geniuses. Can I say? Am I boasting about that? Abso-fucking-lutely. 18 months of carrying those babies total. I'm just kidding. I love them. Okay, so now what I want to do is, this bowl is going to be too big to fit in my refrigerator right now. So I'm going to take this down to a small roar if I can. And see if I can fit it in this one right here. This is the one that's going to fit. And it has a lid. This lid fits this pan, but this lid actually goes to this pan. So I have this lid fits both. It actually is made for this one, as you can see, but it also fits this one. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, and actually fits that one better than it fits this. Okay, so now we are going to use that spatula and hopefully get all of the, my faucet is loose. I'm going to have to get under there tomorrow and get that fixed. Find me a screwdriver or something. I don't know. It just needs to, I just need to be careful until I get it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and wipe this off. I'm going to put it in this bowl. And then I'm going to cover it with some parchment paper, put the lid on it, and put it in the refrigerator for probably the whole night. Because I don't think I'm going to be up for, I've got to make dinner too. So we're having tacos for dinner. So I want to get done with this, have a little break, make some dinner. Probably have dinner about 6:30 or so. Yeah, so as you can tell, this dough is very thick. And that's what you're looking for, a nice thickness. Like a brownie mixture. That's why you gotta do it with your hands. Unless you have a KitchenMaid that can do it for you. That will make your life a lot easier. But I don't think it's gonna all fit in here. But that's okay. We can just cover it with some cellophane and it will be okay. Oh, that's a big batch. So we are going to be making cookies. Oh boy. There we go. We got it all in there. We are just about there. Not too wasting or minimal wasting. Yeah, there we go. Well, that lid is not going to fit, but I can just put cellophane over it. It will be fine. done good on that one. And we have a lot, so we're just gonna wrap it up in some cellophane. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I wrapped that cellophane around here like a doofus. I can't figure out how to get it done. There's the end. I gotta find the end. Not to have too much air in there. It's trying to come out of the bowl, but I'm going to force it back in the bowl. All right, 3 hours in the fridge. So let's call it 5 o'clock. So 8. If I have any energy, I'll be up at 8 to cook some. I can cook from 8 to 10, so that'll be fine. And even this is a little difficult to find room. But there we are. I found it. I found it. Now I have another mess. I didn't know I had chocolate on my hand though. Dang it. Alright, well, let's see if I can rinse that all out. Did I miss something in my hair? No? Alright, so I'm not going to make you endure the mess cleanup. I'll get that. Thank you for joining me on making some cookies. And, you know, I'm not even going to say goodbye because when I bake them, at least the first couple of batches, I got to have you with me, right? So I'm just going to turn this off now and then I'll be back for that. And if it doesn't happen tonight, I wish you a well evening. And I'll see you tomorrow or I'll see you tonight. Have a great night.